Once again, I just want to remind you, these are the chords that we use to play through the 12-bar blues. Now, we're not going to play with a blues style. We're working on Latin styles. But let's use the same basic chords or song form just to give us a structure to work over. Let's look at the very first chord, C minor 7. Now, C minor 7 traditionally looks like this. That's the sound you hear right before a train runs you over. Right? Okay, now we're not going to use the train sound, although that might be cool in some applications. We're not going to use the train voicing as a comp chord. We're going to use a voicing like this for C minor 7. Or I should say, this is one of the voicings I'm going to teach you for C minor 7. Okay, here is the dominant 7 on bottom this time. Here is the minor 3rd. Here's the 5th up on top. Okay? And we've got a mystery note right in here, this D. It really fights with that E flat. Do you hear that? Musically, that's called dissonance. That would really make you mad if that's all you heard. But listen how that sound within the context of this, sounds real nice. Okay, it adds something. Here's a trick. I'm going to give you a tip that I always tell my students. And once you wrap your brain around this concept, you'll really start moving ahead. I always tell them, it takes a little ugly to make something really beautiful. Now, isn't that a strange statement, right? We could just play the C minor chord and that would be very correct, right? It'd be a C minor chord, but you can throw a little ugly in there and make it really beautiful. It's kind of the difference between a computer-drawn picture that's exactly perfect, and then you compare that with the same picture that an artist draws. And even though the artist's picture may not be as mathematically perfect as the computer picture, it's much more beautiful. It's the same in music. I want to teach you to throw in some ugly stuff or some dissonant stuff. Some things that fight, but sound really rich in the right context, okay? That's just a little philosophical highlight. But I want you to start thinking that way because that'll change the way you play. Okay, so anyway, we have the dominant 7th, the minor 3rd, the 5th on top, and then the D in the middle. The D is the 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Okay, now you may have noticed if you were super quick that this D was also down here as the 2nd, right? 1, 2 is a D, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is also a D. Okay, the reason I'm calling it a 9 is simply this. In music theory, whenever the 7th is present, you always call this note the 9th. If the 7th was not present, we'd call it a 2nd. Okay? Thanks for joining us today. This has just been a very short sample from the lesson titled Salsa for Piano and Keyboard, Chapter 1. If you'd like to see more, go to playpianotoday.com/video. In this website, there's a wealth of online piano and keyboard lessons that you can dig into right away, including this lesson. Before you leave this site, though, would you do us a favor? If these lessons are valuable to you and you'd like to see more, would you just take a minute and leave a comment on the site that you're on right now? Or you can simply rate the video. Either way, it really helps us and enables us to post lessons just like this one, free of charge. Thanks!